All right, so you should have gotten the recording in progress there. So we're recording now. So I record all my lectures. Of course, I don't record the exams. There's no reason to do that. But yeah, if I ever forget, then somebody please holler and scream at me. Okay, so welcome to Math 222. Ground rules again. If you join, please have your first and last name as on my roll sheet. Cameras are optional. If you have your camera on, I'm recording a session. So if you don't want your image, projected, then turn off your camera. The only time I need your cameras on is during exams. And let me go ahead and share the screen. And we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I've sent to you multiple times the syllabus. Get this thing focused. So I'll mostly be going over the syllabus, which also included the calendar and list of all the homework assignments. Okay. So on the schedule, it was just an introduction day. Get this thing focused here. There we go. So I was only going to do introduction. If I can sneak in a little bit of work, then I'll go ahead and sneak in a little bit of work. Okay, and a quick word. You may notice all the sections seem to start at section 2, like 1.2, 2.2. So what happened to section 1? Section 1 is an introduction section, and there's no homework problems. And I'll show that to you as we go by. So every chapter starts with section 2. So there is no homework in 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, and so on. Okay.
Really quick, it says on quiz days, a section is listed. Does the quiz include the section you cover on Friday?
The quiz would generally include the section of that day, correct?
Okay, so so the quiz 2 is 1.3 through 1.6.
Quiz 2 will be 1.3 through 1.6, correct? Potentially.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to go over this. If you've already looked at it, great. You're ahead of time. All right, so ignore this. That's my campus phone, but I'm not on campus. Email me here or here. This goes to City College of San Francisco, where I also teach. But in general, I would ask you folks to email me here. And I ask my City College people to email me here. But sometimes one works and the other doesn't. So you're always welcome to email me at either. Okay. I do ask if you email me, tell me that you're in this class. I do teach 5 classes total between here and City College. So it's hard for me to tell right away. If you just give me your name, I don't know which section you're in. So please tell me you're in our Math 222 at CSM from 9 to 10. Okay, this is my office at CSM. That doesn't apply this semester, of course. Okay, I do have office hours from Monday to Friday, 10 to 11 by Zoom. I give you the Zoom links for that. I do have office hours by appointment also, Mondays 11 to 2, Wednesdays and Fridays. That should not be Wednesday through Friday. It's Wednesday and Friday, not Thursday, in other words. I'm teaching another class. There should be Wednesday, Friday. Sorry, 11 to 12 by appointment. Okay, the textbook looks like this. Okay. In theory, you can get it at the CSM bookstore, which I believe is open, or you might be able to find it online. Okay, truth be told, if you absolutely cannot afford to buy the book, I will show you all the important pages. Like I do plan to show you the homework pages and any other key pages, which means you can survive without getting the book. I'll project to you all the important pages and you can just look at the video for the important pages as we go through them. Okay. Student learning outcomes, you can read it or not. It's legal. I got to put it. So there it is. By the way, don't get scared right now. You look at all this stuff. So, oh, I don't know what it's talking about. Yeah, you're not supposed to know what it is right now, but hopefully by the end of the semester, you know what it's all about. Okay. Protocol. Again, attendance is not mandatory except for exams. I'll make a video of every lecture and make them available on YouTube. And I will send it, well, starting next week by Canvas announcements. Again, for this week, to catch everybody that's still trying to add the class, I'll send it through CSM email. And I'll generally start right at 9:10. And if you join by Zoom, please keep yourself muted and cameras are optional. Most of the time, I'll try to finish lecture early, and then you can ask questions. If the questions stop, then we can just end early. Okay. Now, this double slash, what's a double slash? It may or may not apply. these are leftovers from meeting face-to-face, but maybe spring 2022, we are face-to-face. So rather than just, blocking it all out, and the next semester, oh, I want that all back in. So what was it that I put down? Okay, I sort of, the computer science people would know this is called commenting out. It tells the computer not to include that, but next semester I won't want to count it back. So this might apply and might not apply, but yeah. So what's going to happen for us? A lecture, there won't be any in-class assignment in general, except for the weekly quiz on Friday. Okay, so Fridays are either quiz or exam days. So if you look at the schedule, okay, Friday quiz, quiz, exam, quiz, exam, quiz, quiz, and so on. Okay. I just see buffer day. What's buffer day? Buffer day is not a holiday. Okay, we still meet. That just means in case I fall behind, which happens sometimes, or I get sick and I can't keep the schedule, but rarely in a semester do I keep the printed schedule. If I can get ahead, that'd be great, but sometimes I fall behind, so it's nice to have the little so-called buffer days, or maybe it's just a review day like before an exam. Okay. So let's see. So quizzes on Fridays, or the last day of the week in case Friday's a holiday. And let's see, never mind about this. This was if we were meeting face-to-face, so that does not apply, so ignore that. A lot of this is legal. I got to put it down. So there's a statement on sexual harassment. There's a statement on equity, so you can read it or not. It's legal. I got to put it. So there it is. Okay, I do see some stuff in the chat, so let me go down to that. Let's see. So some comments, pay less than $50. Okay, great. I think there may be some options to rent. Okay, so if that helps, then please do that. All right, I didn't catch that. And again, yeah, most of the semester, so some of you say, I just can't afford to buy the book. I'll show you all the homework problems. And I'll show you, key formulas and so on, right? You might want to put some of this, and I'll tell you which ones I think you should put and which ones I think you don't have to put, and so forth. Okay, and that also reminds me, I'll get to that when we talk about exams, but you're allowed to have a cheat sheet, one cheat sheet on every exam, 8.5 by 11. So, standard size paper like this, front and back, put anything you want, any formulas, any sample problems, you can put that on any formula sheet, cheat sheet. Okay, so attendance. I don't take attendance every day. The only way I quote unquote take attendance is if you don't turn in stuff. So if there's something for you to turn in every week, right? So every Friday, right? Quiz, 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 exam, quiz, exam, quiz, quiz, and so on, right? If you get 4 missed exams or quizzes, that's how I will think that you're not interested in class anymore, because that's 4 weeks is what, a month, right? So it means you miss a month's worth, right? So that's my definition that you disappeared. Right? So if I see you miss 4 quizzes or exams, then I might drop you for excessive absences. You're not counted as absence if you don't join the Zoom meeting because you can watch the video a little bit later. Okay, excused absence, that doesn't apply, so never mind about it. I've commented that out. Again, so why don't you just keep it out? Well, maybe next semester I want to put it back in, right? So I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I've got it there. So I can just take off the 2 lines. Okay, effective absence, never mind about that. So ignore that. Okay, check. Okay, homework. There is homework almost every class meeting. I only collect them on exam days. Okay, so you have the whole homework for the whole semester. Here's everything we're doing, unless I change a problem here and there. Once in a while, I might say, oh, I don't like that problem, throw it out. Or I might say, oh, put in this particular problem. Okay? But by and large, this is the whole semester, all the homework. So you don't wait for me to say, just say, I wonder if I should start doing the homework. As I'm doing each section, start doing the homework, right? So we're supposed to do 1.2 this week, right? So go ahead and start doing the 1.2 homework. Truth be told, in my lectures, I show you how to do a lot of these problems. So as I do the problems, that's a little bit less that you have to do. Okay. And when do I collect the homework? Every time there's an exam. So you don't have to turn in the homework day by day. You don't even have to turn in the homework week by week. turn in the homework exam by exam. So our first test is what, Friday, 9/3? You turn in all of this. Okay. And then the second test, you turn in this. Then test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6, right? And you have all the dates. So exam 1, 9/3, exam 2, 9/17. They're generally on Fridays. 10/8. Where'd it go? 11/5, 11/19, 12/9, and then our final exam, Monday the 13th. So those are the only days that you have to show up with a Zoom session and have your cameras on. And of course, I won't be recording those, but all the other days are optional. If you don't want to join class, you can just watch the video later. But of course, if you don't join synchronously, then you won't be able to ask any questions, of course. I do have a 70% homework requirement. You must have at least 70% of the homework completed in order to have the exam graded. So if I don't get at least 70% of the homework, I don't grade your tests. Okay. In reality, it's not that hard to get 70% because I end up showing you 25%, 30%, sometimes 50% or more even of the homework. So the amount that you have to do is a lot less. Now, you say, how do I submit quizzes, homework, exams? Okay, pretty simple. Just do your work, pen and pencil in writing. Okay. Take a picture on your cell phone. So, just click, 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 and so forth. And then just email it to me or scan it right here. So you do that for everything that you submit to me. Okay. I don't have Canvas assignments, so to speak. The only thing I do on Canvas are the announcements. So don't look there for modules or other assignments or whatnot. Okay. This class is pretty much non-Canvas except for my announcements. Okay.
So really quick, all homework is due on exam days, but the quizzes are due that day.
Quizzes are due on that Friday at 11:59, correct.
Okay, but all the homework is due on exam day.
Right, so exams are when you turn in all of this stuff. So I don't need any homework until Friday, 9/3, and you turn all this stuff. And then second test, where to go? 9/17, turn all this stuff and so on. Okay, so you only turn in their homework exam by exam. Okay, speaking of quizzes, they will usually be on Friday or the last day of the week if Friday happens to be a holiday. We will have a quiz this week. It'll be on 1.2. Okay. Even though I say quiz, it's about as low pressure a quiz as you can get. It really should be thought of as just an assignment. But I put quiz because it's only 4 letters, Q-U-I-Z, as opposed to A-S-S-I-N-G-M-E-N-T. Okay, it's open everything. It's about as low pressure as you can get. Open book, open note, open discussion, and it is even due at 10 o'clock. It's due at 11:59 p.m. that evening. So who could ask for anything more, right? So take a picture on your cell phone. So do the problem or problems, just write it on paper, and then, click, click, click on your cell phone. And then, after you click everything out for me, just email it to me. Just have it in your own writing. Okay, participation. At the end of the course, you'll be given a participation score, which is worth 100 points. It only goes down if you fail to turn in adequate homework or if your behavior somehow is improper in my judgment, which normally should not be the case. Okay, so if you look at the total points available, which is 1,000, 100 for participation. So think of it right now, you all have 100. It'll stay 100 unless you don't turn in homework or, you do some unnecessary chatter in class or, something that is unusual that I don't like. Okay. And hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay. In fact, maybe I'll just go ahead and share for people that stay with me the entire semester, 75% or more get the full 100 points of participation. Okay. So you don't really have to ask me for any extra credit. There is no extra credit because to me, quizzes and participation are almost like extra credit. It's not that hard to get 100 on quizzes. It's not that hard to get 100 in participation. Okay, quizzes, you can help each other out. It's open discussion. You can look on the computer. And it is even due at 10 o'clock. It's due at 11:59 p.m. It's pretty good, right? And participation is not that hard to get 100. Okay, are the quizzes from the book or something I share each Friday? Okay, so on Fridays, I'll tell you what the quiz is. And so after class is over at 10 o'clock, you have what, more than half a day to finish the quiz, and you can talk about it. You can help each other out and look at the book and look on the internet and so forth. Okay. All right. Okay, so working about that. So yeah, participation. Okay, backside. And by the way, you should all have this already. I've sent it multiple times. The one thing you'll find out about me quite a bit is repetition. Okay, so I think I've repeated sending this. I think some of you got it 3 times, but just in case, some of you maybe only got it twice or at least once. But if you never got this, let me know. But I'm pretty sure I've sent it maybe 3 times now. Okay, netiquette, I've pretty much gone over that. So if you join, please have your actual name as on my attendance sheet. Please don't give the Zoom link to anybody else. That's school policy. It's supposed to be just for people enrolled in our class. Let's see. You're here, so you obviously did that. Okay. Well, this doesn't apply right now. If you don't show your picture, I don't really care if you're in pajamas or something like that. But maybe for exams where you have to have the camera on, try to just, appropriately, quote unquote, as if you're at school. Okay. So, but yeah, you may keep your cameras off. You don't have to have the cameras on anytime except during exams, because I need to see who you are during exams. All right, shared class list. If you're willing to be in a shared class list with emails and or phone numbers, let me know. And I'll distribute that list to only those for whom I have permission to give out phones and email addresses separately. Okay, exams. So there are 6 exams. You know all the dates. Just follow the calendar that we've already talked about. You know what they cover. It's pretty much chapter by chapter. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Pretty straightforward, hopefully. And those are the only dates required for attendance. You must show up on Zoom, join with your camera on, and a true background. So don't have like the Golden Gate Bridge behind you. I need to see if somebody's next to you giving you answers or something like that. Keep yourself muted. If you have questions during exams, put them on the chat. Exams are assumed to be closed book, closed notes, but you're allowed 1 formula sheet, as I said. So 1 cheat sheet, 8.5 by 11, both sides. Put anything you want, sample problems, formulas, and so forth. Okay. There are some calculators, they're too good that I may not allow. If you're not sure, you can ask me. But there's calculators now, you can just push some buttons, it does all the math for you. Obviously, I don't want you to do that. And that also, yeah, I should have said this earlier. You need to show me all your work. Everything you do, show me your work. On quizzes, on homework, on exams. Show me step by step, everything. I don't give you credit just for the final answer. If you have just the final answer, even if it's correct, you don't get any credit. Well, there are some problems where all you need is the answer, like, is this a function, right? Yes or no. There's really no work. It's either yes or no. Okay, so sometimes there's no work, but if there is work, always show me work. And besides, that way I can give you partial credit. All right, so other than that, no other help. We can't use on exams your computer or cell phone or internet or people and so forth. Okay, exams are 15 minutes long. The questions will be similar to the ones from the homework. I don't give any trick questions, no surprises. They're worth 100 points. Okay, so on exam days, 9 o'clock-ish, I'll send through Canvas announcements the exam. You will join the Zoom session with your camera on, and you have 50 minutes, 9, 10 to 10. So at 10 o'clock, I'll close the Zoom session. You have 5 minutes to get out your cell phone and click, 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 take all the pictures that you need and email it to me. And then I give you another half an hour, so you have until 10:30 to submit the homework. So just click, same thing, click, 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 click. Give you a little bit longer for the homework because the homework tends to be longer. But if you want to submit the homework early, that's okay. I'll let you submit the homework early if you wish. Now, before the first exam, you need to show me. So before 9/3, I need something like this from you. Okay, see, I've got my driver license. You can block out everything besides your face and your name. You can take out birthday, address, height, weight, all that kind of stuff. Okay. For a class like this, I don't get to know what you look like. Right? Now, if we met face to face, say, oh yeah, I know what she looks like. I know what he looks like. You know, I get to know you. In our environment, I don't get to know who you are. So how do I know it's really you taking a test? So show me this. It doesn't have to be a driver license. If you have a CSM ID card or some other ID, all I need is your name and your face. You can block out all the other information. That's perfectly fine by me. Okay. So anytime between the first exam, okay, show me a picture ID, name and picture. You can cross off birthday, address, driver license, on driver, all that stuff. All I need is your name and picture. Okay, I'll send the exams on Canvas announcements. So let's say starting next week, I'll do everything on Canvas announcements. For this week, I'll just do CSM email to capture everybody who's still trying to add to class, because once, well, on Canvas, people that are trying to add to class don't get the announcements. So maybe for this week, I'll keep it on email, but starting next week, I'll do Canvas announcements. And exams, camera on, true background, keep yourself muted. And if the questions, put it on the chat. Okay, double slash for cheating. That means not all of this applies, but some of it applies. Okay, I will say this, you know, and I know it's a lot easier to cheat in this environment than if we were being face to face. Face to face, I can walk around the room, kind of see what's going on. Right now, I really don't know what's going on, even if you have the camera on, right? So you know the rules at least. You're allowed one cheat sheet, one formula sheet, 8.5 by 11, both sides, but nothing else. If I suspect cheating, and by the way, if I do catch you cheating, of course, you're automatically getting a 0. But I reserve the right to give an oral follow-up, oral exam follow-up. Okay, that's in, if I think you're cheating, I might say, okay, I'm going to have a separate meeting with you. I'll let you know if that happens. And okay, Joe, show me how you did problem 5 in the test right now. Or Mary, show me how you did problem 2. And if you can't show that to me, but you got it perfectly right on the test and you have absolutely no idea what's going on, I might decide to count your oral exam more than your written score. To be honest with you, the best case is if I had an oral exam for all of you, but we know I can't do that. Yeah, I don't have the time or energy to do that for everybody. If I had a small class, like only 5, I might be willing to do that, but not with a class of 40. I can't do that. Okay, but if I suspect cheating, I look at your writing on the homework and you're writing on the test. I say, hey, this writing doesn't seem to match. I suspect cheating. I'll get 2 tests. You both have the same questions right. You both have the same questions wrong. And the way you did the problems for the right ones and the way you did the problems for the wrong ones are exactly the same. Then I might suspect cheating, right? So if I'm not sure if you're cheating, I reserve the right to give you an oral exam follow-up. And I might decide to give you your oral exam score to replace your written score if I think, you know, something funny is going on. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, ID card from somewhere else is fine. Yeah, I just need your name. And also it can be a driver license or an ID card from your old school or your old home or CSM ID card. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. Okay, DRC, if you need accommodations because of disability and you know what that means, let me know. And here's another paragraph on DRC, so you can read that or not. Okay, Math Resource Center. Okay, there is something called a Math Resource Center. It's virtual. Christina Arenas is the head. Here's her email address. Whoops, sorry, I messed up. It's Arenas C, sorry. arenasc@smcc.edu. Okay, seating, ignore that. Sometimes on campus, I like to have a seating chart. Well, obviously, it doesn't apply now, so ignore that. And final exam. There's a final exam worth 300 points. We already know when it is. Monday, December 13th from 8:10 to 10:40. 2.5 hours for the final exam. Final exam will be similar in content to the other exams. Okay. And for the final exam, you can have 6 cheat sheets, 6 formula sheets, 1 from each chapter. In fact, you want to know the easiest way to have cheat sheets for the final, You have your formula sheet for the first test, formula sheet for the second test, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and start all over again. Just bring them all in for the final exam. And there it is. So you don't have to remake them. So you can have 6 formula sheets for the final exam. The easiest way to do that is just have the formula sheets from before. This gets a little bit tricky. I'll have to explain this. You should think of the final exam as like 3 100-point exams. Okay. Now, you're not really taking 3 tests. You're really taking only 1 exam. You get a score between 0 and 100, but I put it down 3 times. So let's say in the final exam you get 80. Then on my grade book, it goes 80, 80, 80 for test 7, 8, and 9. You get 100 on the final. 100, 100, 100. You skip the final exam. 0, 0, 0 for test 7, 8, and 9. Okay, then out of those 9 exams, so to speak, you get to drop 1. Okay? So if you miss an exam, it goes to 0, but you get to drop that. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so that means if your final exam is your lowest, you get to drop 1 of those scores, but not the other. So it's not a good idea to skip the final. It'll go 0, 0, 0. You get to drop 1 of the zeros, but you have to keep the other 2. Okay. Yes, IDs, email it to me. I'd rather not you show it in class, and besides that way, you know, others can see it too, and I'd rather you not do that. So please send me an email, just like your driver license or ID, and if you want to just, like I did, you know, block out sensitive information. Right. All I need is your name, picture, and just block out everything else.
So we email that to you and then before next Friday, right?
You just email that to me before Friday, September 3rd. So still have, what, 2.5 weeks to do it. You can do it right after class if you want. Just get it over with. Okay, here's my course breakdown. So 800 points for exams, 100 for quizzes, 100 for participation. Folks, it's not that hard to get 100 on the quizzes. They really should be just thought of as assignments. Right? I send that out on Friday. You have until 11:59 to do that, so no time pressure. Right? You say, oh, you know, it's under time pressure, we got to get it done by 10 o'clock. No, you've got more than half a day to finish it, 11:59. Open book, open note, you can talk to your friends about it, consult each other, that's fine. Participation 100. So these are easy 200 points, folks. So that's the reason why I don't have any other extra credit. This is almost like extra credit. Okay, here's my grading scale, 90, 80, 70, 60. Okay, if you're with it, and the pluses and minuses go down by a point. So that means if you're at 89%, I'll give you an A minus. 79%, B minus. We're not allowed to give C minuses actually, so that doesn't apply there. Okay, if you go down another percent, then that would be a B plus. Okay, so 89% is A minus, 88% would be a B plus, and so on. 79% would be B minus, 78% is C plus, and so on. So that's the way that works. Okay, let's see. I did that. I'm done with the intro. Get this thing in focus here. It's about 9:40. I've done everything I was going to say today, but if I have a chance, I'll sneak in a little bit of what's going on with 1.2 just to make things easier on me. Okay, again, buffer day isn't a holiday. It just means maybe I fall behind, I got sick, my computer went down. The first time, you know, I think last year during the pandemic, I lost a whole week because my internet was down the whole week. So you can imagine how that was. So just in case, that's what buffer day means. Okay, let me check the chat. I'll stop sharing quickly. And does anybody have a question of me right now that they want to ask? Otherwise, I'll sneak in very little of what's going on, and we'll probably still finish a little bit early. Okay, so access to problems. Yeah, if you never want to buy the book, okay, I'm not really supposed to say this, but if you never want to buy the book, I'll show you all the homework problems and all the key pages, so that's perfectly fine. Okay, and everything is submitted by email. Yes, homework, quizzes, exams, just click, 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 click on your cell phone and email it to me. If it, or you can scan it and just email it all to me.
In the subject line, do we just put homework and quiz, or homework and exam, and then our name, and then what class we're in? Like,
Sure. So when you submit stuff, yeah, just say quiz 1, exam 1, quiz 2, and so forth. Yeah, that should be fine.
and so, would you prefer like the homework to be in separate emails, or can they be in the same email?
All the homework should be in one email. It should be separated from the exam, so I can differentiate between the two, if that's what you mean.
Okay, all
So
right.
even though I want them, yeah, I want them on the same day, but please separate the homework from the email so I can say, okay, this homework is done, and then, yeah. So that'd be great.
Okay, all right.
And then what about the format? Does it need to be PDF or a specific kind of format?
Okay, so, what kind of format? It doesn't really matter to me. PDF would be great. Oh yeah, but I'm glad you mentioned that. Sometimes students send something in a format that I can't open. Okay, so the more complicated you make it, the less, more chance it is that I don't get it. I'm pretty sure if you send a PDF, I can always get it. Okay, but sometimes students send stuff in a format that I can't quite get. So I'm pretty sure I can open any PDF. Yeah, that would be preferred, I guess, is one way to say it.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, you're welcome. All right, what I'm going to do right now is show you what I mean about giving you important pages. Okay, so you should all have this. If you don't, let me know. I've sent it. Some of you should have gotten it 3 times. Syllabus, calendar for the whole semester. Get this thing focused here. And all the homework assignments. This is what the book looks like. It's in the syllabus. Okay, Ferris to Franza. Okay. So about the sections, so like 1.1, right? So how come we don't have to do any homework problems in 1.1? There's no homework problems in 1.1. So they talk about functions. You've heard the concept of functions before. To give you just an introduction on page 2, 1.1. And then it jumps straight to 1.2. So I guess it's correct to say, okay, I've done all the homework problems in 1.1, meaning there's nothing new to do, right? So that's why all the homework starts in section 2, all right? So what happened to 1.1? There isn't any. What happened to 2.1? There isn't any. There isn't any homework problems. I mean, they just give you an introduction to some of the names. Okay, so natural numbers, integers, rational numbers, and so on. You've seen all those before. I'm not going to emphasize it right now, okay, until we get some of the homework problems, which is 1.2. All right, so in 1.2, page 3, here's the real number line. You've seen this before. So normally a number line, we put a 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, +1, 2, 3, and 4. But there's all these other numbers in between, right? 17/4, square root of 2, a half, -pi. They're there. Okay, so hopefully that's not new. Inequalities, like A is less than B, B is greater than A on a number line, right? So the bigger numbers on the right, smaller numbers on the left. A is less than B, B is greater than A. Right? Okay, I'll go over these names when we get to them. Natural numbers. Natural numbers are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Integers, you include 0 and the negatives. Okay, rationals are basically fractions. Irrationals cannot be written as fractions. Most square roots, pi, those are irrational. And take all the rationals and irrationals and lump them together, you have something called real numbers. Okay, we'll see some problems involving this. Okay. Page 6 I want you to get used to interval notation. Some of you have seen this before. So I want points between A and B, but say, what if I include A or I don't include A, or if I include B or I don't include B? Okay, so here, X is between A and B. A is less than X, which is less than B, not counting A, not counting B. So we use parentheses to indicate that I don't want to count the endpoints. If I want to include the endpoints, bracket. A is less than or equal to X, which is less than or equal to B. You can have one of them open and one of them closed like this. So this means I want everything between A and B, counting A, but not counting B. It looks like this is the opposite. I want everything between A and B and don't count A, but include B. So A is less than or equal to X, less than B. A is less than X, less than or equal to B. So if you're counting the endpoint, use a bracket. If you don't count the endpoint, parenthesis. Okay. If you need to, you can put this on your cheat sheet. I think for many of you, you don't need to put this on your cheat sheet if you know it, but you always have that option. Now, infinity and negative infinity, right? A is less than X, going all the way to the right, that's infinity. So what's the difference between these two? Well, this one you count the A, this one you don't count the A. So A is less than X, A is less than or equal to X. So notice parenthesis for A, bracket for A, but in either case, infinity. And for infinity and negative infinity, you always use parentheses because you never reach infinity, so to speak. So parenthesis, parenthesis. Same thing if I decide to go forever to the left, okay, and negative infinity. Notice negative infinity is always on the left side. Positive infinity is always on the right side. So here, X is less than B. I'm not including the B, so parenthesis. Parenthesis, negative infinity, comma, B, parenthesis. This is exactly the same thing, except I count the B. So negative infinity, B with a bracket. So bracket means count the endpoint. Parenthesis means don't count the endpoint. How about negative infinity to infinity? Well, you're going all the way to the left and you're going all the way to the right. So that's the same thing as saying all real numbers. So this funny looking R is another way of saying all real numbers. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you the homework problems. Okay, so again, this is what I mean by if you never want to buy the book or the book's coming late and so on, I'll show you all the problems. So let's see, 1 to 71, odd, 75, and 77. Okay, so I'll show it to you right here. I know I might be going kind of fast, but I'm just, you give a snapshot and you can watch the video later. So that shows you 1 through 23. And let's see, go like that. And like that. Like that. And I think we had to go up to 77. So yeah, there's all the problems. Again, I'll be doing this the whole semester. So you got all the homework, so to speak. Okay. All right, so I'll show you a couple of these problems and maybe that's about it. Express the interval using inequalities and sketch the numbers in the interval. Okay. So I'll show you number 3 and number 5. Maybe that's about all I will show you. Okay. I've pre-made the problems before. Ignore any dates here. This is from the previous semester. Okay, so negative radical 3, radical 2. These problems that I'm showing you in my lecture are right off the homework. They're right off here. So every problem that I do, that's one less that you have to think about, really. Or just, when you submit the homework later, just copy it, so to speak. So in my 1.2, I'm doing 3, 5, 11, 15, 19, and so on. These are problems right off the homework. So every problem I do, that's a little bit less you have to do. So that's what I mean by in reality, this 70% requirement isn't that hard because I end up doing 25%, 30%, maybe even 50%. Sometimes I even show you half the problems. And so that's a lot less that you have to do. Okay, number 3, it asks, yeah. Okay, let me finish this up real quickly again.
Okay.
Please keep yourself muted. I'm hearing some background noise. Can everybody please keep yourself muted. If you would, please, thank you. Okay, negative radical 3, comma, radical 2. Parenthesis means don't count the endpoint. Bracket means count the endpoint. Okay, this one you need a calculator for, so just punch it in your calculator. Okay, negative radical 3, that's like negative 1.7-ish. Square root negative 1.732, blah, 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 blah. And square root of 2. So 2 square root 1.414, blah, 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 blah. So it's about 1.4. Okay, so just roughly negative 1.7, 1.4, closed circle here, open circle here, and shade everything in between. So negative radical 3 less than x less than or equal to radical 2. Okay, 5, and then I'll stop. Negative infinity 3. Parenthesis means don't count the 3. Negative infinity, x is less than 3. So 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative a million, up to 2.9999999, but not quite 3. So open circle at 3, shade everything to the left. So negative infinity at 3, x is less than 3. And there we go. Okay, so I showed you 3 and 5. So that means you don't really have to do 3 and 5 now. You got to do 1 and 7. Okay, but I'll always show you enough problems that you know how to do for yourself. And quiz problems will be very similar to what we do here. Okay, so I've actually snuck in a little bit more than I was going to. So that's fine. If I can get ahead, that's great in case I fall behind a little bit.
I'm looking at my e-textbook. Where is the homework at the end of the chapter?
Is the homework at the end of the chapter? I'm not sure what the e-text does. It's at the end of each section. So, I mean, I've got 1.2 and then the homework for 1.2 and then 1.3. And then at the end of 1.3 is the homework for 1.3. Not unless we're in an unfortunate situation where the e-text doesn't have the homework at all, which would be kind of a bad situation. But I'll always be showing you, on the videos here as necessary. Okay.
Oh wait, I found it. It's at the end of the section. Yeah.
End of the section, yeah. Okay, great. All right, I'll stop the share and let me check anything else in the chat. I don't see anything else. Okay, it's 9:54 right now. Anybody else with a question? Otherwise, we're done for the day.
Would you be able to show the beginning of the problems for one more second real quick? 1 through whichever.
Okay, let me check that. But it's already it'll be in the recording also, of course. So if you ever miss it, you can get the recording. But 1.2, and this is on page 12. Don't try to copy this down. Look at the video later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, anybody else for something, please? Otherwise, that's it. All right, so you should have this available by this afternoon, the video. It just takes a while for me to process it. You'll get it. So that's it for the first day. So you made it through the first day. So thanks, everybody. Have a good day. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much.